Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton and it is time to start the final round of the Shredder Slopes tournament. This will be the rookie division covering the front 5 holes. If you made it this far, congratulations, a very high scoring round, especially if you're sitting there in those top skill brackets. So we're going to go ahead and just hop right into it. We're going to start off on hole number 1, of course. I will show you 2 different ways to play it depending on how aggressive you would like to get. Now, the first way is going to be with the Power 5 ball. We're going to go with the Berserker here, free to play ball, full top, 2 bars of side spin to the right. You're seeing here that I am trying to make sure that my second bounce is a pretty good amount before that rough line, because I know that I'm going to have to go into overpower. There's just no way to set this shot up without pulling into overpower unless you're going to be somebody who's using, maybe some type of money ball. Maybe you have a, like a Megalodon, or you got some type of top spin boost ball. But you see here, I'm going with about half a ball of OP, maybe even a little bit more than that, a little bit of curl to the right. I am able to get myself 1 fairway, 2 fairway bounce, and then roll through the rough. I do not love playing this way, okay? But it is possible. And you're going to see here, it's really nice that we're getting almost perfect headwind on shot number 2, because it makes these drops easier to do. I don't even have to adjust for elevation. All I have to do is put max top spin on, put my ball guideline through the hole, left side of the cup, just because the wind is going a little bit to the right hand side. But you see here, dead center for the eagle. Really, really high chance that if you take that shot right there, you could get stuck in the rough, or you could put it in the sand with a nasty grate. So keep that in mind. At the end of the day, this game typically comes down to hitting perfect. So I do believe this route is the best way to go. Here, we can play with the katana. Just due to the headwind, we'll take the little extra power boost here. 4.5 top, 1 bar of side spin to the right. That is all that we need. We're going to make sure that we're going right down the middle of the fairway, just like that, between the 2 rough spots. Most of my red ring on the fairway, about 1/4 of it in the rough. No overpower here, just a normal shot, and we do hit perfect. Now, of course, going this way, you will have to hit perfect on shot number 2 in order to drop the shot, but that's how the game works anyways. That end-bringer shot up there at the top, you could probably get away with a minor grate and still be fine. Again here, perfect head, or almost perfect headwind makes the shots easier to drop. You see that we are at minimum distance. That's where we want to be on this hole all the time on rookie, so getting that same yardage is pretty crucial. Here, we're going to apply our backspin. We do leave a nice amount of the ball guideline through the back of the pin. Very important to do that with your thorn. And you're going to see here, we make our adjustment at minimum distance. Perfect ball goes into the hole, no problem. Now, I do believe because of the wind, you are going to see more players try to send it in an aggressive fashion. This hole, typically, the majority of the field eagles the hole. I still do believe the majority of the field will eagle the hole. However, I think that the percentages of people who eagle this hole are going to be less, just because some people will get stuck in the rough and on the sand. All right. Now, we're going to go to hole number 2 here. We're going to go ahead and play with our Titan. We're going to play the shot number 1 is going to be 0%, okay? Forgot to put the graphic here, but it will be 0%. I would like you to go with 5 top, 1 bar of side spin to the left. I'm sorry, 4.5 top, 1 bar of side spin to the left. I apologize. 4.5 top, 1 bar of side spin to the left. The reason that we don't go with more top spin is because we don't want to get too many yards on the drive. If we get too many yards on the drive, we typically have to take shot number 2 with our long iron, and we would much rather take this shot with our sniper, all right? Now, shot number 2, 25% at mid is how I want you to play it. That is not what you are seeing here. You're seeing me take a shot at 20% at minimum distance. I do hit a great ball to the right, and it does drop for an albatross. So, lucky in that regards. but that just means that we under adjusted our shot, so we have to account for, you know, trying to pretend that we hit perfect and figure out what the elevation needs to be to account for a great shot. Not the easiest thing to do. This is just me guessing. I'm guessing 25% at mid. It's got to be super close. You know, you might want to take a practice shot to see if that works, but you see here, great shot for the albatross. So, you know, it is what it is there. Won't ever use that again. All right, hole number 3, 20% at mid. Definitely staying with the rough bump here. Pretty good wind angle to try to pick up the hole-in-one. At least the wind is blowing to the same direction of where the hole is located. 1.1 top, 2 bars of side spin to the right. Offset a little bit to the left-hand side of the hole. Take a look at my yellow ring. It's to the right of the sand trap. You don't want to play too high up on this rough line, because if you use the wrong pull angle, you could definitely miss the rough entirely and send yourself a flyer. Here I do push my rings instead of pull. It is a little bit easier to push your rings whenever you're dealing with the sand here. Make sure you go a little bit slower because your rings will get distorted, and if you go too fast, it's going to skip around when you make a push. You see there, we hit the middle of the rough, no problem. The speed is great. Look at this. We just barely missed this one to the right-hand side. So the thing that we can try to do here is you can try to duplicate the setup exactly. Once you have the setup, you could take about 0.2 to 0.3 right side spin off. Your ball guideline will look weird, but that's okay. You saw there that we had too much right side spin. That's probably going to be the easiest way to try to correct this shot, all right? But you have to be good at that, because when you go back to adjust your spins, you could accidentally mess with the top spin. So make sure that if you're going to try that little tweak that I just told you, that the second time when you go in to take your 0.2 or 0.3 right side spin off, that you keep the 1.1 top. All right, hole number 4, 10% at max, 6 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right. Here we're going to put our yellow ring at the top of the rough, just like this, ball guideline going down the middle of the fairway. Make sure that on this shot you do use a little bit of right curl, which you're going to see me do, just because you could accidentally clip the rough here on the bottom part of this fairway, or even roll into the rough, which you'll see here. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Let that side spin and that curl do the work so that you don't accidentally go into this rough here on the left-hand side. You see here with this shot with the perfect ball and a little bit of right curl, really exactly where we want to be. 10% at mid is how we're playing this shot. We are going to go with a couple bars of backspin, and we're going to put half a bar of side spin to the left onto the hole. That's just going to fight against the wind, ball guideline going down the middle of the hole, and then extend it through the back of the cup a little bit. Make sure you don't accidentally leave this one short. Perfect ball here goes into the hole. Perfect ball in practice went into the hole. Unfortunately, on my other account, I hit a great ball and did not drop this shot. So at least I got it in one account on real mode. I am really struggling to hit perfect when it comes down to the real shot. I'm hitting a lot of stuff perfect in practice, but when it comes down to the real deal, really struggling. And this is another example here. 10% at mid. I do pick up the hole-in-one on this account. On my other account, I hit another great ball, and I have a really good line here. Just a little bit of top. We're going to use the Goliath. We're going to put our yellow ring right against the rough line. Most important thing that we're looking for here is obviously the dark green and the light green squares. You can see exactly where I'm aiming, to the right-hand side of the pin. You need to either use that very end of my ball guideline where I'm aiming at, pointing on that dark green square, almost the bottom middle of that dark green square, but a little bit more right-hand side middle. Okay, that will be important. That's where we want to aim. Get a really good look at the light green and the dark green squares on this particular course. Again, same thing here. You are pushing into the sand. Make sure that you push your rings a little bit slower so that you get that super accurate. Here we come up really nicely. That little bit of top spin is needed, does the work, comes in dead center for the hole-in-one. That's the first 5 holes, everybody. Congrats for making it this far. I hope you're tearing it up. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already, and smash that thumbs up button and give the video a like. I'll talk to you all soon.